What's up, Jets fans? Welcome to the latest edition of Jets Latest, where you get the latest on the Jets, Jets. I'm your host, the spitting statistician, Dane Martinez, and today, first of all, happy Memorial Day to everybody, and that kind of signals maybe the start of summer, and what better way to celebrate the start of summer by talking about more football when we get into the fall, right? People are starting to think about the Jets, and let me tell you, it is an exciting time. The Jets just had mini camp, right? And there's a lot of things that came out of mini camp that I definitely want to talk about. The first is, we've been talking about Justin Fields the entire time here in this offseason, how he is the QB1, and how one of the things that were really important was him reuniting with his college teammate Garrett Wilson, right? So Garrett Wilson is a guy who's been a stud for the Jets over the last couple of years, who I personally think we need to extend his contract pretty soon at a rate that we can get now before a breakout is coming. And Garrett Wilson talked about both of these things: his contract situation, wanting to be here for the green and white, and the idea of getting back together with his college quarterback during minicamp. Listen to what he had to say. First of all, he goes, Justin is someone that I'm familiar with, someone that I have a great relationship with, someone that I love watching play. Since I've met Justin, it's been a pleasure to line up alongside of him. I didn't think we'd get this opportunity at this level, so it's exciting. I'm still taking it in. It's cool. It's cool. We've been picking up where we left off. He also said, as for the contract situation, I'm hopeful that I am a Jet for life. We get this thing rolling, and all of our best days are ahead of us. This is music to my ears. Remember, at the end of last season, there was a little drama about Garrett Wilson, right? Did he want to come back? Kind of maybe that relationship with Aaron Rodgers. But I think this is so important. They bring in his college teammate. You hear Aaron Glenn talking about how they need to feed him the ball. And I think Garrett Wilson is primed to have a true breakout season if he hasn't already broken out. I mean, his 101 catches last year was tied for fourth among wideouts, over 1,100 yards, right? He had 153 targets. That was fourth in the NFL, and that was with Devontae Adams on the other side, okay? Now, you put him as the clear alpha with his college teammate, and I think he is going to have a huge season. We're talking about Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson territory. I mean, he was already fourth in the league in catches and in targets, and we've talked about this before on Jets Latest. His adjusted catch rate of 91% is near the tops of the league. The fact that he only dropped 4 balls with as many targets he had was second to Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's the kind of production I am talking about. That is, I think, yet another comp we can draw from Aaron Glenn coming from Detroit. I'm expecting Garrett Wilson to be viewed, respected, and seen at the same level as Amon-Ra St. Brown here moving forward. And if that's the case, we need to pay this man, extend this man now before the market, the league, the reputation starts to catch up to him. So that is what we believe is going to be a big time breakout for Justin Fields and the connection with Garrett Wilson. I also want to talk about another guy who we have already on the roster from the former regime, a first-round draft pick that has had success but can do even more under this new regime. And I'm talking about Will McDonald. Listen to what Aaron Glenn had to say about Will McDonald, who by all accounts was dominating in minicamp. No one could block him, and we know he changed his uniform number from 99 to 9, and it looks like he put on some weight. He put on 15 pounds, and Aaron Glenn noted that as well while still maintaining his athleticism. Check this out. He's a dynamic athlete for a guy of his stature. He's 6'4", 240 pounds, and he's gained about 15 pounds, which is very good for him because it allows him to set an edge better. He has really long arms and a skill set as far as rushing the passer. I haven't been around a lot of guys like what we have with him, so I'm going to enjoy seeing exactly what he's going to be able to do with us, and we're going to let him go. Let him loose. Let him get to the passer. That's what he does best. And listen, Will McDonald had a breakout season last year, okay? 10.5 sacks last year. That was tied for 12th in the NFL. But if you look deeper, it was even better. He had a 20.2% pressure rate. That was actually third in the NFL. He got pressure 1 out of every 5 times he rushed the passer. That was truly elite. And he's going to have more weight on him, help in the run game. And again, with the coaching here, we believe he may be able to take another step forward. It also is going to help that he's going to have Jermaine Johnson now back on the other side. So Teams are going to have to kind of pick their poison. We got Quinnen Williams in the middle, so he's not going to have to do it all by himself. Remember, the Jets had the fourth best pressure rate in the NFL last year. That was without having to blitz so much. That was without Jermaine Johnson there, and Will McDonald truly was elite. That 20% pressure rate, he actually had 20% or more in 6 different games. So he was consistent, and I think that is huge. Again, with Jermaine Johnson back, even Tyler Barron, the 5th round pick, and of course, Quinnen Williams in the middle. It's going to be a big time thing for this pass rush here with the Jets. And I also talk about the press man coverage that Aaron Glenn likes to play and how that's sticky with guys like Sauce, Stevens, and A.Z. Thomas. But speaking of Quinnen Williams, you may remember that Quinnen, when Aaron Rodgers left, it was like, oh, another rebuilding year for me. Quinnen Williams talked about this and how he kind of regrets saying that. That was maybe an immature comment from him, and that after talking with Aaron Glenn, he is really excited. I keep talking about this culture from Aaron Glenn, Darren Muji, and how they are building and how guys are buying in. That's another thing we saw at minicamp. Guys are buying in. I think that's evidence from Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner being there, even though they're looking for extensions. I think that's evident that it was a voluntary minicamp, and Aaron Glenn mentioned we had 100% attendance on those days, right? Guys are buying into the culture, and I think that's evident in what Quinnen Williams is now saying about kind of the potential turnaround under Aaron Glenn. Listen to what he had to say here. He goes, I was drafted here a long time ago, and I was paid to help change this thing around. I wear that with a badge of honor. Before I leave this game, the New York Jets are going to be on top. The New York Jets are going to be the football team to watch. I live that every single day. Then on the 100% attendance, he goes, it goes to show you the belief we have in the new staff and the new regime. We want to get this thing going. We want to go in the right direction. And listen, Quinnen has to be a big part of this, right? He is a 3-time Pro Bowler. We've already got him re-signed. He's a huge part of the defense. And the stats back it up. I mean, an over 90 PFF grade. That was 3rd best among interior defensive linemen. He is one of the best interior linemen in the NFL. He had a pass rush grade at PFF over 84 each of the last 3 seasons. 39 pressures from Q. 6th best among defensive tackles. And then, obviously the 6 sacks, the 25 tackles, the tackles for loss. It's all there. Quinnen Williams is definitely one of the stud defensive linemen. You put Will McDonald, Jermaine Johnson on the other side. You put tight man coverage behind them, and we'll see, right? People were talking about that second defensive lineman, the ability to stop the run. I'm hoping Derek Nottie, the free agent signing from the Kansas City Chiefs, maybe Brian Cowart from the Bears, can be part of that. But you're going to look better when you're next to Quinnen Williams, to be sure. This Jets defense really has the potential under Wilkes and Glenn to really even take it to the next level on what was a good unit already. So that'll do it for another episode here of Jets Latest. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. Please watch these videos, like the videos, subscribe to the channel, and tell a Jets fan friend to tell a Jets fan friend. It is an exciting time here, whether it is some of the new young studs we have on defense, like Quinnen Williams, like Will McDonald, like Sauce Gardner, like, everybody that we are bringing in here, to be sure, on the drafting as well, with the Malachi Moores, the A.Z. Thomases, right? Or what we are doing around Justin Fields as our new undisputed QB1, and some of the dual threat elements that he brings, the reunion that he has with Garrett Wilson, and some of the pieces we're putting in support of him, specifically on the offensive line, to have him continue his development as he gets into his second act here in the NFL with the green and white. And if you want to hear more from me, spitting statistician Dane Martinez, I am the host of the FTN Fantasy Show over on SiriusXM, Channel 87, the fantasy channel. We do more than just talk the green and white, all right? We talk the NFL, fantasy football, and now that we're coming to summer, it's going to be fantasy football draft season coming up on us. Major League Baseball, fantasy baseball, the NBA, NHL playoffs, it doesn't matter. FTN is a great website with a lot of tools and data to help you become a better sports bettor, become a better fantasy player as well. But if you're locked into the green and white, make sure to tell a friend about Jets Latest. We will be here all week long talking about how it's an exciting time for the green and white, and you want to get in right now on the ground floor with the Jets, and Jets Latest. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a great holiday, everybody. We'll see you then. Peace.